Does it seem about right? Tips for frugal living for those who aren't that frugal. In our modern world, it might be challenging to live frugally and responsibly, but although it's not particularly popular, old-fashioned modest living can give you financial security. So in today's video, we will discuss some tried and true tips for frugal living. Tips that will help you save but still live a good and simple life, although in an old-fashioned way. So what am I talking about? Which tips are these? Grab your book and pen. 17. Making substitutions. Learning to make do is an important component of an old-fashioned way of life. This entails making do with what you already have. This can happen when preparing dinner and realizing you're lacking an ingredient. You could certainly get in the van and head to Walmart to grab that one thing. Well, after the impulsive buys, it might end up being 3 or 4. Our grannies, though, wouldn't waste either time or money. Instead, she would find a suitable replacement in her kitchen and make do. You can accomplish the same way by printing out a list of typical ingredient swaps and sticking them to your refrigerator. When you run out of mayonnaise, you'll grab some sour cream the next time you're preparing dinner, just as grandma would. 16. Hang laundry up to dry. Laundry hanging was quite common in the past. Have you ever smelled freshly laundered clothes that have been drying all day? You'll adore it utterly, right? Dryers are a tremendous energy guzzler and will drive up your costs. Money can be saved significantly by hanging washing. To start saving money, you only need a clothesline in your garden. 15. Go fishing or hunting. Nowadays, going on a hunt for food is far less prevalent. When our great-great-grandfathers were young, it wasn't unusual for them to grab rifles and go hunting in the woods for dinner. Nowadays, food hunting requires more effort. During hunting season, you'll need the appropriate firearm, ammunition, a hunting license, and plenty of time. You also have to travel to where your favorite game is played, but if you want to attempt it, or more likely the males in your family do, this could be a terrific way to stock your freezer with cheap meat. Instead of picking a pistol, try a fishing rod if the idea of shooting one doesn't appeal to you. Buying fish at the grocery costs much more than catching it yourself. 14. Barter whenever you can. It doesn't seem very modern to be bartering, does it? But back then, it was just the way things were. It needs to be a relic of the past. You can exchange fresh farm eggs, veggies from your garden, or other offerings your raw honey from a honeybee farmer, or perhaps some flowers for a present you need to buy. In my opinion, bartering should come back. 13. Use natural remedies. Manufacturers are attempting to meet the need by creating more naturally based items as consumers' interest in natural and organic products grows. Marketers are promoting ingredients like honey, lemon, echinacea, elderberry, ginger, and lavender as potent treatments for various illnesses. Although this is a fantastic news, purchasing these natural goods over the counter can be rather pricey. To reduce diseases in your home, you can manufacture your natural treatments. 12. Swap out your paper towels for rags. Menards frequently offers free rags with rebates, or you can simply tear up old garments or sheets to use. If you like, you can even create elegant unpaper towels. To avoid being tempted to grab paper towels, you can keep them just beneath the sink. If you use one roll of paper towels per week and pay $1 per roll, you'll spend $52 a year on paper towels. Isn't that a good deal? 11. Keep your poultry. Owning hens is becoming more and more popular. You should consider keeping your own backyard flock of hens if your neighborhood doesn't forbid it, or if you live on a big piece of land. You'll always have access to fresh, organic eggs and homemade garden fertilizer. Removing weeds, bugs, and other tiny outdoor pests from your yard is another excellent use for chickens. Naturally, keeping your own hens involves a lot of maintenance and cleaning. This presents a beautiful chance to instill responsibility in your children and encourage family cooperation. Finally, you may breed your hens for meat. Compared to poultry from factory farms, poultry from your own home-raised birds will taste better and be healthier. 10. Create a frugal stockpile. When your meal plan fails, or you forget to plan your meals, having a stock of pantry essentials is helpful. You can always prepare dinner using ingredients you already have in your kitchen. You may make a meal with tomatoes, tuna in a can, pasta, and some herbs. Build up a little food supply when it's on sale or at the lowest price to save money. Beans, oats, grains, pasta, and vegetables in cans are all excellent long-term food storage options. 9. Cultivate your own. You can cultivate some of your own food even if your space is restricted. You can grow things like lettuce, radishes, carrots, tomatoes, zucchinis, and even berries in limited places. You can reduce your food expenses by producing some of your food. If you have little space or can't plant in the ground, most fruits and vegetables have compact variations that may be grown in containers. If you need more space for cultivating your own food, consider buying it at cheap supermarkets or farm stands. On boxes of produce from the farm, you can frequently find great prices. You can save money by preserving them for later use. Find gleaning organizations in your area as well. If you discover one, you can volunteer to work for a few hours while taking home fruits and veggies in exchange for joining the gleaning organization. 8. Sew your torn clothing. Does your favorite pair of jeans have a hole in them? Don't discard them or replace them. Simply patch the hole. You can quickly pick it up even if you don't currently know how to sew. You can learn a lot from YouTube videos. Although you don't need to learn how to sew an entire wardrobe, being able to patch a hole or attach a button will save you money and time. 7. Don't follow trends and use hand-me-downs. Parents had to shop for fewer clothes when children were younger as they grew older. That's because the next oldest child began wearing their clothes after the first one outgrew them. After that, when the youngest outgrew their clothing, it was passed down to their younger cousins. This is just easy, traditional thriftiness. What happens when they reach their teen years and refuse to wear their siblings' clothes? One of the most incredible things you can do is suggest any items your children would enjoy to your family and friends with older children. Maybe your son's playmate has an older sibling who is stylish and adept with clothes. For yourself, decide to ignore fads and develop your own timeless look. You can create a capsule wardrobe by spending money on a select few high-quality pieces that can be worn in several ways. You'll make the most of each item, and your outfits will always stay in style. 6. Take your own family pictures. Consider being your own photographer if you appreciate having your family's portrait shot each year for Christmas. Neither expensive equipment nor technical expertise is required. Even the most recent cell phone can take photos that are on par with those from a small digital camera. You can take pictures that turn out just as well as those taken by a studio photographer with the help of a decent tripod and adequate lighting. And, well, buying a DSLR camera can help you improve your shooting skills. Taking your family photos is a fantastic opportunity to employ good, old-fashioned principles by learning a new skill that saves you money, even though your great-grandma didn't have the access to a digital camera. 5. Make your own bread. It always astounds me how much baked goods cost in stores. You can make bread, buns, muffins, and biscuits at home for much less than you would be paying at the shop. You can prepare bread at home for less than $1 a loaf. It is shocking that a can of canned biscuits costs more than $1 for only 8 little biscuits. Fresh biscuits are incredibly simple and cheap to make at home. 4. Be content. The most important thing that we can learn is to be content. Although it may be challenging in our busy, distracted world, when we are satisfied, we can be happy and make deliberate choices with regards to how we spend our time, money, and lives. Because when we are content, all the world's diversions might disappear and lose their appeal. 3. Make food from scratch. Convenience meals are more expensive, and homemade food frequently lasts longer than food that has been partially or fully prepared. Consider a stew or soup as an illustration. A pot can be made affordably and may even serve several people. Nowadays, cooking from scratch isn't nearly as standard, but believe us when we say that people love having dinner at someone's house who does everything from scratch. Homemade food is amazing. 2. Give up Starbucks and make your preferred Starbucks recipe at home. People telling you to brew your own coffee certainly causes some unrest, but bear with me. It won't really cost you much to buy a cup of coffee occasionally. However, if you don't prepare for it, running to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts every morning before work would undoubtedly prevent you from achieving your goals. Hey, go for it if you're able to accomplish all your financial objectives while still having money left over in your spending plan for your morning coffee. Going all out with these methods for frugal living is suggested if you're juggling monthly payments, battling to pay off debt, and need some extra cash in your bank account. 1. Walk or bike ride. Not everyone had a car in the past. There have been generations without one. Families didn't have cars during most people's childhoods. Between the constant upkeep and gas guzzler nature of vehicles, they are pricey. You can save some of your hard-earned money if you can bike or walk more frequently. These traditional methods of frugal living, which Grandma used to save every day, are still helpful today. We can still do the same things she did to stretch our resources and more today. Anyway, which of the tips fascinated you the most and why? Comment below and let's engage. That's all. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next video.